My name is Eric, and I'm here to discuss case management theories. The first theory will be about system theory, and the second theory will be about relationship theory. These two theories constitute to the holistic factor in case management. This will provide structures and outlook on how we implement it practically when we deal with families and the person itself. Case managed theories and approaches will also ensure that we're providing a robust and an effective care to the people that are entrusted to us. These will provide us with more tools in understanding and having a deep dive on each of these cases that we will be handling. Let me go through to you with the first theory, which is about systems theory. Based on Elizabeth Moore's book, this feature is to look at the clients or the person being an interconnected relationship with us and them. This also includes their family, their environment, community connections, community groups, or mainstream supports. Gerard Corey, in his book Theory and Practice of Counseling and Psychotherapy, mentioned that even though we have our own individuality, we cannot take away the influence of the family that we grew up with. Hence, they're an integral part of the system that we're accustomed to. This gives us who we are and defines us on how we act on things that we're doing. Another book by Carol Barron about children with disabilities talks about barriers to play recreation and recreation for children and young people with disabilities, exploring the environmental factors and how does it make it difficult for children to increase their capacity due to the surrounding environment that they're in. It comes to a point that it's not supportive of what they need to rise above these barriers and impairments. Hence, we are looking at with three systems. So micro system, meso system, and the macro. Micro will be the everyday basis kinds of relationship, family, friends, intimate relationships. Meso will be local groups, institutions, or maybe a workplace. And then macro will be systems of governments. This can provide those pressures such as, for example, mortgage rises or inflation. Systems theory model provides a robust and comprehensive approach in case management model. It goes beyond the definition that a certain impairment, disability, or decrease in capacity is just about of the person because of their own impairments, but basically it's interconnected to the environmental and systemic climate where the person is. One feature of the theory might be about boundary, as Elizabeth Moore states. There are instances where part of the system or mainstream support or informal support, like their families, tends to be a controlling factor in the actions and movements of the person. They become gatekeepers to the progress of achieving personal empowerment, or even at the basic principle of their human rights. When these things happen, feedback mechanism is very useful. When things deviate from our plan to improve with the client, it's important to go back to the table and provide the feedback. Each and all of the families and all the factors that surrounds the person can provide the feedback on how they are progressing with the needs and the wants of the person who are involved. Let's go to relational theory. Relational theory is something really close to my heart, as I have practiced it in my daily life through raising my young family, my relationship with my wife and my children. Also that I am in the industry of working with people with disabilities, which is a big focus in exercising especially their choice and control. Individualized funding is a good example of a practical application of this theory. One of those that has been a big push for the disability services and schemes such as the National Disability Insurance Scheme, as Hamilton et al. Discusses in his article, about impeded choice and control of people with disabilities. Without them being part of that decision in that relationship, we will not be meeting the outcomes that we are wanting to. In this model, there are two-way approach where the practitioner will not only provide supports, but there is an expectation that the person receiving will have a reciprocated response to improve um, um, their status. Ebert article in 2018 discusses the importance and relevance of relationship between practitioners, parents, to implement strategies and increase the capacity of children who has uh, uh, speech delays, uh, to improve on that skill. It follows that when there's a great relationship between families, practitioners, you know, educational system, and the children themselves, it will meet a better and a good outcome. Now let's go to system theory in practice. So Neil Keith et al. In 2023 in his article Assessing the Social Determinants of Mental Health in Counseling Practice, that it is vital to have a great deal of knowing what are the experiences of the person's development and well-being. It is important that but when we are assessing clients, we are to take note of the whole system that they're involved in their personal life. As we do the assessment, we should consider asking questions that falls under the different settings that I have mentioned earlier. The micro, which is the intimate relationships. The meso, the daily interactions that they have, can be workplace, it can be school or education, the gym, those kinds of stuff. Or the macro, which can be about government systems and policies that they are surrounded with. We should note down the different people in the institution that they're dealing with in assessing these clients, and from there we can generate a profile of the person based on these systems that surrounds them. Pester et al. In 2023 discusses that health practitioners will now have a deeper appreciation of the holistic social determinants of one's health that comprises complex systems that shapes the day-to-day life of every individual. In practice of systems theory in terms of assessment, it's important that we are very detailed in those information. So when we come to a point of brainstorming and putting together a plan on how to build a better approach and to build the capacity of the clients that were assigned to us. These are the basis of where we can, bring them that will enable them to suit in the environment where they are in. Moving on to the next theory, let's look at relational theory in practice. Sood and Gupta in 2018, their article about patient counseling and consent provides a very good foundation for practical application of relational theory in the assessment stage. This is where patient or a person's autonomy is a vital part of that relationship building, so we can have a good relationship of care with the clients or with a person, especially for vulnerable clients or person. Building relationship is crucial and very important. Some of them had that experiences and had the background of trauma, strained relationships. um, these relationships are making them not trusting to people that is surrounding them. That's why when this is not established well, implementing plans or interventions to ensure their recovery will not be successful and will just go to fail. At this assessment stage, not only with the clients, we also need to build that really good relationship with their families. Having that good relationship will mean that we will have more information, vital information that we can get from families. They've been the one living with our client or the person on every hour, their day-to-day basis. They know their strengths, they know their weaknesses, they know where they're struggling with. And as much as information that we gather, the more that we are getting that help and support, in terms of making sure that proposed intervention will be based on quality and many sources of information. In building the trust and relationship in the assessment stage will also ensure that the clients will be more comfortable, confident, or will start to be, and that will have more chance of us having a successful introduction of intervention, that relationship of reciprocation, where when we propose tools or things that they can consider, it will be more receptive if we build that strong relationship with them from the very beginning. What we will be prescribing will make they will consider, because they will know that what we're doing is based on that built relationship, which we aim for them to build that capacity and to recover from where they are at. A practical but a very crucial step in making sure that assessment information gathering is that we can demonstrate that we respect the individual's confidentiality through seeking their consent. It is empowering for anyone to be asked for permission, for them to provide it freely and willingly without coercion. This is a very good step at the point of the assessment. It is ethical, and it is just right to have that, to make sure that we empower the person, and we also again stand on the solid ground of that good relationship. Everything that will be put into the intervention program or structures that we will put when we get that consent, we are sure that both parties agree to it. These consents are endorsed, everything is clear with everyone. That will enable us to get a more buy-in from the persons or the clients or the participants of that intervention will have more appreciation of our genuine approach in terms of providing support. It's whenever I am building my relationship on a personal note, I make sure that I am authentic, and these are also an important part of practical application of relational theory when we deal with clients. they will know if we're not authentic or not. And that's why I make sure that whenever I deal with clients, I am authentic with my questions. I'm authentic when I'm asking consents, when I'm asking for permission. Because in that way, we can provide them with a very good understanding of where we are at in terms of our desire to provide that support and help them. And again, it will have that very solid, trusting relationship that will help all these interventions to be successful in the future. So, thank you again for this opportunity, and I hope that I have explained the two theories and the practical ways and case management model.